Hello and welcome back to Absolute BSS, the casual-petitive look at Bandai Namco's Battle Spirit Saga card game. We're back, and as always, I'm Cameron Weaver, and I'm hanging out with Angel. How you doing, Angel?
I'm doing good. How's everybody?
And Eric.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, the boys are back in town. I'm back from my North Carolina rum tour and pirate shenanigans. Had a good week. Ate a shit ton of local seafood. And,
did you sail on the Grand Line?
I did. I sailed on the Grand Line. I'm king of the pirates now, and I'm getting ready for aquatic invaders to show up.
Yeah.
But what have you guys been up to before we do our deep dive into the the blue world of Battle Spirit Saga?
Honestly, I've been extremely busy with work, so I've done nothing but seeing my Twitter feed go off with all the reveals that we're gonna get into. And some spicy stuff that we'll talk about here shortly. But other than that, just been working a lot. Haven't really played any of my games like I usually do, and then excited to probably this week definitely start on the Pro Tour practicing and building my deck. So I'm looking forward towards that. So
Hell yeah! How about you, Eric?
I have been doing a lot of the same. Been going to Lorcana drafts. There's another one this week that I'm excited for.
Oh, there is one this week.
Yeah, it's on Wednesday. You should
Okay,
come.
I figured the product was out, but I'll try to make that happen.
He has enough. He's been limiting the number of people that can go.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, just got to get there early, so make sure you get a spot.
Cool.
That's been fun. I've also started collecting Pokemon 151. I've started my little Pokedex. So
that's super exciting.
That's just for fun for me. I also am not gonna. I've been purchasing it very slowly. Like I just bought like a trainer box and the poster set, and then I'm just gonna probably whenever I'm out in the wild looking for Lorcana stuff, gonna pick up Pokemon 151 just because I probably won't find Lorcana, but I will find that. So
yeah. I did find some
fun.
Lorcana in the Outer Banks and bought a starter
jealous.
deck and a few packs for a buddy of ours named
I
Jordan.
forgot about this.
Jordan has what we call in the game stupid beginner's luck and hot hands with pulls.
Fire.
And it's always when we, friends who are trying to get your other friends into games, pick up packs for someone that they end up opening the real heat. So I bought Jordan some packs and was on the phone with him while he was opening them. And he goes, "Oh, wow, this is some neat foil on Belle." And I go, "Dude, tell me that's not the enchanted rare." And he sends a picture of it to me. And sure enough, $290 card for him to start his Lorcana collection.
So, it's always the people who don't even know what they have.
Exactly.
Too, right? He's like, "Oh, this is neat."
Yeah.
Well, that's how it is too, though. Like the first pack. I mean, my first Lorcana pack off the structure deck or starter deck was that Simba.
Yeah.
I think that at the time that was like whatever 220 or 230. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nuts. And then Jordan also sent me a picture today where he had acquired some One Piece cards. So I'm going to see him sometime in November, and we're going to get some games in. Going to teach him Lorcana, One Piece, and then get him into some more Battle Spirits games. So
is he coming to you, or are you going up to him?
He's coming to us. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Because I also want to get some One Piece games in.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We'll make that happen for sure. But yeah, so that's cool. We're going to try to just dive right into this. We got a lot of blue cards to look at today. That's the goal. We're going to get through all the blue cards that have been revealed because that's the newest color. That's the more exciting thing. And then next episode, we'll definitely do a deep dive into the other colors. It's spoiler season. It's super exciting. And with that, we're going to talk about the Aquatic Invaders. Set 3 introduces the 6th color to the English version of this game. It is blue.
Wait, there's something we want to talk about first.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
There's something else.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room.
There's something else that happened today that we want to talk about first, actually.
It's crazy because my alarm goes off. I wake up. I see a notification. I click on it, and then I pour one down for the homies.
Yep.
Because as we all know, they banned Depths and Axe Spider, and 2 other cards that I was actually surprised that I wasn't even thinking why they banned, but it makes sense. You guys want to talk about those?
Yeah. Let's get into it. Sorry, I tried to gloss over it because I'm still kind of mad. Still kind of mad.
Sad. Look, I got my drink. I got my drink right here for the homies, man.
Yeah.
Cheers to Netherworld Depths, everybody.
Oh,
it was a good run, Netherworld. You tried.
You lasted less than a year. Great job.
Yeah, before the
Jeez.
6th color was even introduced.
Man.
I was waiting for Cam to be like, but first, and
Yeah.
then he.
Thank
and
you
then he
for
never
stopping
did.
me. No, I was
It's
too
all good,
excited
man. It's all
about,
good.
cards that I can actually use.
Yeah, that's
Ugh.
fair.
But yeah,
But
go
you
for
know,
it.
do you have like the list pulled up for the viewers at home?
I don't actually. I can go to Cosmic's Twitter probably though.
Yeah, he has a great visual for
He
it.
does.
Actually, so.
He's so good. Cosmic.
He's on top of that.
plays. Where is he?
But yeah, so 3 cards got banned and 1 got limited, right?
That's
Yes.
right.
Yep.
So Netherworld Depths banned, Axe Spider banned,
Man.
Over Raptidon banned.
Man.
that was an interesting one. And Volcanic Break limited to 1.
Yep.
And so, what's everybody's thoughts on this? Like, what do you think this said? Like, I would like to hear everybody's thoughts about like the actual topic of whether or not these should be banned. I feel like has been talked about to death. But
Yeah.
what do you guys think the introduction of a banned and a limited list means for the future of Battle Spirit Saga? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's like regardless of the actual cards that were banned? Like, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think like any game, right? It can be healthy and it can be unhealthy. But I think right now, with the game being so new, I don't think it's too big a deal. Like when I woke up today, and going through all the comments and whatnot, I'm looking at the bright side of it. It's nice to now like have other rooms for other cards in your deck that you don't have to worry about, right? Or you don't have to build a deck to counter these cards. So I think that's gonna be nice. It's gonna keep the game maybe a little bit fresh. And maybe that's the whole point of the thing, right? Just trying to put my foot on the other side. The game is fresh. You don't have to keep playing the same constant thing around it. So I think it'll be good. And like any other ban or limited list in any other game, eventually maybe stuff will come back, right? If it gets patched up or if like another card comes out and this one of these cards helps counterbat that, it'll be good. As long as it's not like Konami where cards sit there for decades on the ban list, I think we'll be fine. But I think Bandai, by doing this so quickly into the early stages of the game, I wouldn't put it past them, to put the cards back in a year from now or 2 years from now, if it makes sense. So I think it's good. I think it'll be healthy. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Game is still fun, so
Yeah.
just a few cards.
I think the amount of ban cards is comforting.
Yeah.
It's only 3. And the fact
Yeah.
that they are introducing a limit to another card means that there's some room here for compromise between like people like us that are like, it's still new, don't ban any cards. And I get it. You want a new game to look healthy on the outside. So when a lot of people online were raising their pitchforks and calling for a ban, people who were looking into the game from the outside are like, oh, I probably don't want to get into this game until that card is banned because it sounds crazy. While people on the inside are like, I wish they wouldn't ban it. But overall, I think, if they're going to go about doing this, this is a pretty decent way. And it like Angel said, it just encourages, like, they have their finger on the pulse. They're going to listen to the players. Hopefully they don't listen too much to the players, but also it kind of helps them move forward in their design, and maybe they will reprint with rewording and bring some of these cards back once they've been tooled down a little bit. That's the one thing with the physical card game, especially in this day and age where we play so many digital card games, that cards can be changed and just patched through, like Marvel Snap, Legends of Runeterra, Hearthstone. All of those cards can be fixed, quote unquote, and cycled in and out, and sometimes they become unplayable, and then they look at that too and adjust them again. But you can't really do that when you hit print on a bunch of physical cards. But what you can do is, bring them back in future sets, tooled down a little differently. So hopefully this isn't the absolute end of some of these iconic cards like Netherworld Depths and Axe Spider. The weird one over Raptidon, I get to ban an aggro card, especially when pterosaurs are so good. But Eric, you said you had a good point. You said you don't think that over Raptidon really makes that deck, and I would agree with you there.
Yeah, I'm assuming that they did some play testing with people in this like world where Depths and Axe Spider were banned. Maybe some other cards they were play testing with as banned, and they just realized that pterosaurs were way too oppressive with Depths and Axe Spider gone.
Yeah.
And so they, for whatever reason, were like, we need to remove some of the power out of pterosaurs without gutting the deck, which I think is a smart move. I don't really feel like Overraptidon was the key piece to that deck. And I haven't played. I've played against quite a bit of pterosaurs. I haven't played with pterosaurs as much, so maybe I'm totally wrong. But
sure.
I mean, it's a great card. It's like the Camelot Knight of pterosaurs. But you know, Camelot Knight is not vanilla, and I feel like that card's still around and good. And so I don't know. I don't really get it. Isn't there also there's like a couple cards in red that have the Needle Dragon,
Rain Needle.
Rain Needle, yeah.
Rain Needle.
Same stats and everything. He's just not a pterosaur. So I think it's just literally the fact that it's a pterosaur and it can like reduce the cost of Giganorex and all of that stuff. But to what Angel said about cards coming on or going on and coming off, I think Overraptidon probably comes off at some point. I just feel like it'll get to a point where it's not really a concern that he's on there anymore. And then same thing, Volcanic Break. I wouldn't be surprised to see that come out of Limited. I don't really feel like that was a problem card before. So
I didn't either. It's
again,
kind of expensive.
I think it's kind of like I said before, the same thing with Overraptidon. Probably something they found in playtesting that they just wanted to like deal with before it became a problem.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like limiting is weird. So here's kind of like my thoughts on the whole thing too. Is like I don't like limiting cards because I think it just plays into RNG. Because it's like if Volcanic Break is really that good of a card and everybody's playing it, the one of Volcanic Break, like everybody's playing it, then it's like, oh, I found my Volcanic Break first. Which luckily, I don't think that the Volcanic Break is that good of a card that it really matters that much. And in fact, limiting a removal card is not as devastating as limiting like a Nexus or a Spirit.
Yeah.
Because you just play it once and then it's gone.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't really feel like it needed to be limited at all, but I also am using this opportunity to mention that I don't personally like limit lists. I think if you're going to deal with a card, it should either just go away and then get reworked, like Cam said, or just go away and be done with if it's a problem card. But or some other creative solution, like we talked about in a previous episode, like how Netrunner dealt with some cards by limiting it in such a way that you could only play cards without the like combo pieces if there's like really devastating combos. So that's my whole thoughts on the whole thing. Not surprised to see it, but and not even necessarily like glad that it happened, but excited nonetheless. Just for a shakeup. I like when the meta shakes up. It doesn't matter how. Like I still think it's kind of fun.
It's definitely another bright side there. You know, like the top 16 lists are going to look a lot different for the first big tournament after this announcement. Probably a few more to follow. We've been kind of just throwing our predictions around in our Discord about like what's gonna step up, and with set 3 we've got a lot to talk about, and we'll get to those later. But just from existing card pool, we've talked about Nova getting higher up into the spotlight. We've talked about Yellow kind of starting to shine a little bit, which is exciting for me. So I'm looking forward to different deck lists and for card gamers to do what they do, and that's to find another way to break the game and get another card on this banned list that we now officially have.
Yeah, I think yellow and purple
let's get to work.
are the big winners.
Yellow, purple, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just because I consider both decks or both colors to be toolbox decks, right? Like, there's so much you could do with purple. Aggro control, core removal. Purple still has a lot of other drawing cards to get into whatever you need to. Yeah. And then yellow's the same thing, right? You have Nexus that draw into it. You have luster packages. You have aggro packages. You have crazy magic cards that they can pull out of nowhere and be very annoying. So those two decks are definitely, or those two colors, I think, will probably be majority that we see. I'm sure there'll be some spicy red here and there. Tersaurus, white, I'm not too sure about. Maybe we'll see a little bit of white, but green. I feel with Axe Spider being hit, green will still be a thing for sure.
Green will take its rightful place up in the top 8.
Yeah,
I think
it will.
Because man, it's just a damn good color, and it's only getting better.
Yeah,
they've got some. We won't talk about them today, but they have some cards in the set the next set that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, some stuff that they needed for sure. That's gonna make that color to skyrocket. So.
Yep. Well,
I think that also I know you said that white is losing Axe Spider, so that kind of sucks for them. But I think to the other side of that, that's cool. It's like now you have more freedom to deck build.
Yeah.
And I think people might discover cards that they overlooked.
Spring of Norn.
Spring of Norn. I don't know that that's going to be the first place people go.
It might.
But
Bring Valkyrie. You'll see Valkyries again.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see some androids.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people because I've just kind of been snooping around in other people's discords to see what people are talking about. I won't mention what Discord I was snooping in, but they were talking about Fanatec Elk making a big comeback because it's kind of.
I don't know why that card ever left. I love that card.
I think it's been around, but I think it's just like, man, Axe Spider's cheaper, does a similar job, but I think it's a good card. It'll come back. They were also saying that without Volcanic Break, it's a lot harder to deal with. So I'm interested to see what develops. I hope that people get really creative. Although to Cam's point, we'll probably figure out what the next hotness is, and then everyone's going to be begging for that to get banned. But hey, maybe you'll be the first one to discover it, and that's kind of exciting.
It's my Flying Turtles OP. Ban Flying Turtles, baby. Oh, man.
You should start going to Pro Tours with a deck called Ban Flying Turtle.
Yeah.
Be getting the top 16 to spread the message.
Dude, my deranged ass. I went to an aquarium in North Carolina. This is just a very small tangent. They have a sea turtle hospital at the aquarium there. And I got to see some sea turtles close up. And my first thought was like, oh, it looks like Flying Turtle. Straight up, I was just
funny.
That's my boy.
That's funny. For me, when I see turtles, I just think of Crush from
yeah.
It's just like, oh, look at Crush, you stoner ass little turtle, get out of here.
I love them.
All right,
well,
should we get into the blue?
Now
go
let's
into the deep.
Go into the blue. So
go into the turtles world.
The blue is coming in hot, just from what we've seen. We're going to go through 30 cards today. But just at the very top, what we're looking at are like sea folk, mermaids, mermen, war gods, and golems. So these are just like crazy, epic blue beasts and constructs and monsters. And I'm very excited thematically about where this set of creatures fits into the lore. It feels like it's from the same universe, and I'm excited to see how it shakes everything up. Just like the ban list, anytime something new comes into the game too, these deck lists are going to be just insane, and things are going to be wild for a while before the dust settles. So without further ado, let's start spoiling some blue cards. Let's start right here. Big thanks again to bssdb.dev for tirelessly updating the website with the spoiled cards and making that just easier for content creators and just for anybody, enthusiasts of the game, to navigate, find these cards, build decks with. Very, very excited to them. So let's just kick it off. I'll take this first one. Weapon Collector Godfrey is a 5-cost, reduced by 2, blue War God Spirit. At level 1, 2, and 3, when summoned, you may discard a Nexus card from your hand to draw a card. So we got some draw power already in blue. At level 2 and level 3, during your opponent's attack step, at flash speed, you may exhaust one of your Nexuses to refresh this spirit. And that stat line real quick. Level 1 for 1 core, 3k. Level 2 for 3 cores, 5k. Level 3 for 6 cores is 8k. So pretty good. You got draw tutoring. You've got refresh. You've got stand. You've got anti-green tech built into a card here.
And you gotta have a lot of Nexuses.
You gotta have a lot of Nexuses.
Yeah, it feels like blue will play slow and control-y, but then like if they get a board at all, you're in trouble.
Start going off, yeah.
Exhaust is not going to do it anymore. Removal is what's going to, I think, counter blue. What do you guys think?
You're gonna have to volcanic break this guy. Oh no!
that or hit him early with Burning Force if he's at level 1.
There
hit
you
him
go.
Early.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so interested to see how blue plays, like what the tempo feels like. Green just comes in screaming hot and very, very quick. So I'm wondering how blue is going to stand up to that.
I think blue, like you were saying, it's more like your control. It's gonna be like very like slow paced, but with like really annoying or taxifying effects. And you guys will see them more and more we go on with some of these cards. I think that's gonna help blue till you set up those big boards, and then all right, now I'm gonna go off because now I have all this set up in place. So should be interesting.
Yeah.
Blue is going to make those white decks that we've been calling control decks look like mid-range.
Yeah.
Because like those white decks that we call like white control have, I mean, they're like the closest we've gotten to control. But like, I mean, this card, even just this card, and there's more cards that do stuff like this, but this card is just like, oh, you want to do Exhaust My Spirit? Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like blue, just like other card games with blue, it's going to say a lot of nope.
Yeah.
Not for me. Thanks.
Exactly.
right.
Angel, you want to take this next one?
Yeah, so next one is a 5-cost, 2-cost blue reduction. Giant King Randolph. He's a war god. A level 1, 2, and 3. When this spirit attacks, has a new ability coming into the game called Crush +1, which what that does is discard a number of cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the total of this spirit's level plus any specified modifier. And then at level 1, 2, and 3, when he attacks, for every level this spirit has, select one of your opponent's spirits that costs 3 or fewer and destroy it. Quick little stats, like Cam said. At level 1 with 1 core is 4,000. With 4 cores, 6,000 at level 2. And then with 6 cores, 7,000 at level 3. So, what do you guys think about that Crush effect and his second ability?
Crush is interesting. So Crush by itself, if there's no modifier, discards the top card of the deck, right? So then a Crush +1 is 2 cards total.
Yeah.
It's that. Okay, cool. Just making sure I was reading that right. It's kind of worded weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I was like, what does it mean by modifier? I was like, is it that +1 plus whatever else you alternate?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I read it. I think that's how I read it. So.
The most he can crush is 4 cards. Because it'd be level 3 +1.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yes. Oh, wow. Gosh, Crush goes really deep. So it's based on the level plus the modifier. And
plus
level.
The modifier.
I don't know why I was thinking the level was how many icons in the bottom right. That was foolish. But that's okay. that makes it pretty cool. Okay, I was looking at all these cards and I was like, why is anyone worried about Mill? Like they're only taking them out like 2 cards at a time. I see it now.
He's I think he's pretty good. I mean, both of his abilities trigger at all 3 levels. So for 1 core, he's at 4K. That's like he hits that burning force threshold that you want to hit. So
I think start milling early. Good. It's good. The one thing I noticed, and it's just my little gripe about blue so far, I hope they change it in later sets. They need to make the blue and the icon at the bottom a little darker. It's very close to white.
I agree.
It needs to be like pronounced blue.
Boy.
Yeah. And that's the only thing. But anyways, that's my only gripe about the blue.
Maybe darken that part and then lighten the border.
Yeah,
because it's a little
it's very off-wash white. So it's like baby blue.
You know.
Yeah, it does look like blue-white.
I do want to take this opportunity to point out that I don't think any of us are graphic designers, so I don't know. But
True, I'm definitely not.
I'm not. I could draw a couple of doodle bobs. That's about it. But...
Giant King Doodle Bob.
Yeah. Oh, I'd play a doodle bob deck.
Crush +29.
Next collab is just SpongeBob.
Yeah. I got. It's like that's all you do.
But yeah, I think he's cool. He's at a rare, and that's pretty good. Little expensive, but again, like if blue is paired with ramp, you're gonna see some cores on these fuckers.
And I was gonna say, like War God. I mean, I'm a sucker for anything like God of War style.
Yeah.
Like all the War God artwork so far that I've seen, badass. So that might be like an art type that I'll be playing. Like I like so far, it looks really good.
Just feels cool slapping down these War Gods. You know, I love tribal decks. Maybe I'll build a War God Crush deck and see how it goes. All right, Eric, you want to take this next one?
Warhammer Gordon Ramsay.
Zaddy. My gosh, we got Admiral Swole Thrawn up in here.
Yeah.
4 cost 2 reduction War God Spirit. Level 1, 2, 3. It has Crush +1. So same ability as our boy Randolph. And then level 2 and 3. During opponent's attack step, your opponent's spirits that cost 3 or fewer cannot attack unless they pay 1 core. So immediately starting to see some themes here where blue is going to kick the shit out of my aggro deck.
And my yellow boys.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Level 1 for 1 core, 3k. Level 2 for 2 cores, 5k. Level 3 for 4 cores, 7k. Very good stats here. Awesome costing.
Yeah.
Good abilities. I think this guy is like, I know we weren't doing champ or chump, but this guy's a champ.
I think he's going to be a staple in a lot of blue decks. Even if you're not going for Crush, I think that's just a cherry on top. What you're really doing here is dropping a cheap guy with 2 cores to turn off your opponent's aggro. And that's just really good. And at 5k, like, that's kind of tough to remove unless you have Volcanic Break. Your one Volcanic Break in your deck.
Yeah.
Warhammer Gordon, definite champ. I think
he's
so.
gonna be good for sure. I mean, being a purple player, I can see this mixed up with core removals, what purple does, and then having this on top of that. Now the last core you're gonna have to remove depending on what. So I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I definitely like this guy.
He's good.
Keep in mind it says they have to pay 1 core, so I think that can come from anywhere.
Oh,
Just
it's
as
from
a reminder.
anywhere.
Your opponent's spirits
Yeah,
that cost
'cause I think
3 or
they just
fewer cannot
Unless
attack
they pay one.
unless.
Oh,
Is the they the spirit though?
I think that they is the opponent.
I feel like. What's the wording like on?
no, because I guess if they could pay 1 core, you can pay a core from a Nexus because it's on the field.
Yeah,
it's not in the
you
reserve.
can pay it.
So
true.
I think because it says. I think the wording on the other cards that I think it says remove.
Oh, okay. Let me check. What is it? Is it purple? There's a.
What's a purple?
What's the poison? Bloody Rain. Bloody Rain. Your opponent cannot attack with a spirit during this turn unless they remove a core from it and place it into the reserve. Yeah, so paying a core, you're right. Sounds like it can come from anywhere, so that does help.
Well,
but if it's, this guy's 4 cost 2 reduction. You can play him pretty early on. Maybe they just like your opponent's trying to get aggressive and they just can't because they just don't have the money.
Yeah,
like they just can't afford it.
I mean, he's a good turn 2 first play. I think you get him out there with 3k, and the next turn you pop a second core on him, and then you're good for a minute. Yeah.
I mean, plus with that crush ability, you might be, also the top deck of your opponent's deck could have been what it needed, right? And then now you just crushed it. You just milled 2 cards. So I think that's really the strength of this is that crush. Every turn you're attacking or pushing, whether it's destroyed or not, you're thinning out your opponent's deck even more.
Yeah.
I do also want to point out for anybody who's listening that may not be aware, Crush has 2 there's 2 reasons you want to Crush. One is you'll notice on some other cards we're going to talk about that Crush activates other abilities. So if your opponent has a certain number of cards in their discard, now your other cards do other things. The other thing, just because this hasn't really been, unless you've played in like high level competitive events, you probably haven't seen this too much, but you lose if you run out of cards in your deck, right? So that's the other reason you'd want to do this. Do they still do the thing where like you count the number of cards in your deck? Is that still a tiebreaker?
Yeah, it's still a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So this comes into play there too. If you're going to go to time, you might want to just try and crush.
Yeah. Paramore. That's why I'm saying Warhammer Gordon is going to show up in every blue deck, even if it's not a crush specific deck. Because if you get a couple crushes off, you're golden.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, the next one is also a crusher. Iron Hammer Oswald. 2 cost blue War God Spirit can be reduced by 1. At level 1, 2, and 3, he gains Crush. No modifier, just discard a number of cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the total of this spirit's level. And at level 2 and 3, while this spirit attacks, for each spirit card discarded by this spirit's Crush effect, it gains 1,000 BP during this turn. And at level 1 for 1 core, it's 2k. Level 2 for 3 cores, it's 3k. Level 3 for 4 cores is 5,000. That's neat. You get immediate benefit from crushing. He's a cheap guy. Definitely feels like a card that you're going to slot in as low end if you're running a lot of blue, or specifically for Crush, you're definitely running 4 of this guy, trying to play a couple of them early. And he can stick around if you're hitting your opponent's spirit cards, which, you know, as of right now, makes up a majority of decks, right? Like, your odds of hitting spirits with the Crush are pretty good. And so that kind of makes him a little more sticky on the board.
Mm-hmm. And it protects him too, like in the flash steps.
Yeah.
For any type of burning force or anything like that, as long as you can get him up enough above that 3K if he's not at level 3. So
right.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, because it's when he attacks, he crushes, and then that immediately triggers. So
yeah. So before that flash window, for example, let's say if he's level 2, he crushes 2 cards. If they're both spirits, he goes up to 5,000 before a flash window and before a blocker is declared. So that's pretty good. That's pretty decent.
Well, he will only crush 1 card though. He will only be the 1. He doesn't have that modifier.
At level 2, I mean, he would still crush 2 cards.
Oh yeah, because he's based on the level. You're right. Yep.
But yeah,
nice.
The art on this card really quick because it looks cool.
I like it.
It's like a comic book art or something.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's very like cell shady. It looks like Wind Waker, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or Shadow the Colossus, I think.
Yeah.
Like that. It reminds me of those big ass Titans.
Yeah, it's cool.
It doesn't really fit the art of the other ones, but I like it.
I do too.
I do.
All right, Angel, you got the next one?
Next one, looking like a Mako Tsunami card, sort of. It's a giant platoon. It's a War God. Blue Spirit, 3 cost, 2 cost reduction. Level 1, 2, 3. Just has Crush when he attacks. And then at level 1 for 1 core, 3,000 BP. Level 2 for 2 cores, 4,000. And level 3 for 4, 7,000. So similar to the other one, just has a Crush ability. But I do like the stats on this guy. They're pretty beefy for his cost. I mean, you can play him for 1. Yeah. And just for 2 cores, he's at 4K. So he's out of Burning Force range, you know?
Yeah.
So I like him. And I mean, for another 2 cores, he's at 7K. So pretty good card. I like the artwork too. Very Sparta.
Yeah.
You know, coming off the shores looking. So I like it.
It's cool because it's both a giant platoon, as in the size of the platoon, but also they're all giants in the platoon. Yeah. So it works pretty well. I think, you know, this is just another one of those. If you're leaning into the blue Crush, it's got great reduction. It's got really decent stats. And if you're pushing that Crush to just eliminate all of your opponent's answers pretty early on in the game, then this is the one for you. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got Dragolem.
Cool art. Very cool art.
Yeah.
4 cost, 3 reduction, Golem Spirit. Level 1, 2, 3, it's got Crush +1. That +1 modifier doesn't sound like much, but when you really think about it, like, that's huge.
It makes
like,
a difference.
I'm realizing that now while we're looking through these, that +1 or plus anything is big.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean, you're looking at 50 card decks. You think people might start running 60 card decks? I think so. If Blue Crush becomes like a huge thing, I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I've been adding some higher end cards to existing decks in anticipation of blue, and usually the new cards I'm slotting in either let me draw or are like just Nexuses, because I've not really thrown a lot of Nexuses into my deck.
Yeah.
But I figure I might need a couple starting with set 3 because of that very reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been toying with just like Immortals in purple, right? Like, go ahead, crush me all you want. I probably won't have these things in the graveyard anyway. So
Immortal is gonna be big. I think Reanimate is gonna be a much better card.
Yeah.
Even than it already is. Like, it is pretty powerful. But yeah, if your opponent is milling your deck for you and you can access the cards that you want that way, shame on them, you know?
There's also some purple cards that put cards back into your deck, I think. Or there's some cards in the game that
you can like recycle or kind of recoup back again.
I need to revisit some of those because I wonder if those get better. But anyways, Dragolem has a second ability here. Level 2 and 3, during your attack step, if one of your Nexuses has a soul core on it, when one of your spirits with Crush is blocked, treat that spirit as being its highest level during this turn. then activate that spirit's crush effect.
Shoo!
So they swing, they crush, they get blocked, they crush again.
Yeah.
At its highest level.
At its
That's
highest level.
Tough. You're going to
Yeah.
want to
So-
try to get rid of Dragolem as soon as it lands.
And what's crazy, this
before they
card
get
only
cores
costs
on it.
4 and technically 1 if you can reduce the cost. Like,
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
really good effect for.
If you got Nexuses down, it's going to cost 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If you have 3 Nexuses down, it's 1. And then you put 4 cores on it, worth it. Because it's sitting at 5k, and then you get that ability. And that sounds really good. Because,
This
again, that
also-
modifier goes so hard, especially when you're triggering it twice.
This
Yeah.
triggers for every crush spirit you attack with.
Yeah. So if you are crush focused, this card is a 4 of, for sure.
I mean,
And,
like, every single one you attack with during that whole
If
step.
you block at all, yeah, you're gonna
Which
keep
is
crushing your whole opponent's deck. Like,
Crazy.
Mill is
That is
powerful.
crazy.
The mill is
Yeah.
real. It's happening.
And it triggers itself,
Mhm.
which is just like, this is a
Oh, right, it
bonkers
does.
card.
yeah,
Cheese them.
Yeah.
But
That's a
it's
good card.
only if they're blocked. So now it's that dance of like, do I let this attack come through or do I discard another 4 cards?
yeah.
So I think Joker is slotting into some blue crush decks. Because I think they're going to let up some hits during the game. And they're not going to see Joker coming.
Ooh, I see what you're saying. Like, they might go down really low.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't
That's
wanna block.
cool. Yeah. Oh, so you're kind of playing this dance of like, you have to block my stuff, and then I'm going to punish the shit out of you for not blocking.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
not
Or
blocking.
for blocking.
It's
yeah.
a win-win for the attacking blue player.
Yeah.
And again, these stat lines can be pretty good. And if you're holding back a flash in your hand and use it for its like give plus 2k to people that
Yeah.
aren't expecting that, like, man, blue can be really nasty.
That's why you gotta save your volcanic break for this card.
Exactly, that one volcanic break. We're looking at a lot
Volcanic
of
break.
targets.
Yeah, you gotta save it.
Good lord.
That's why it's limited. See?
Yeah.
Too many good blue targets.
Yeah.
And we're only 6 cards in. All right.
All right.
Number 7, Rock Golem. This is a 3-cost blue Golem spirit. So our first Golem trait here can be reduced by 2 at level 1, 2, and 3 when this spirit attacks. If this spirit has a soul card on it, select a Nexus card from your trash and return it to your hand. At level 1 for 1 core, it's 2k. Level 2 for 3 cores, it's 4k. Level 3 for 4 cores, it's 7k. But this guy basically... my immediate thought, kind of pairs with that weapon collector guy who's like, discard a Nexus to draw a card. And then you play down the Rock Golem, attack with it, and get that Nexus back into your hand. So it's either resource recycling, recursion if King Vulture got rid of one of your one of your Nexuses. And this is the first blue spirit that we've seen that wants to have the soul core on it. That last spirit wanted one of your Nexuses to have a soul core on it. So that'll be kind of interesting too.
That this guy goes in the same deck as the Dragolem.
Yep.
Like, I think he goes elsewhere because
Yep.
there's something going on here with, like you said, him and the weapon collector. And I think because he doesn't have crush, he's not doing that. You probably play him elsewhere. But I think he's interesting. He seems good.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
he
such a
does.
liar. Drag Golem is a Golem trait. I'm an idiot. I said Rock Golem's our first Golem.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
I was wrong.
Or how about this? Our first golem that looks like a golem.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, there you go.
Thank you.
I would say Dragolem is more of a gargoyle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's cool.
Ooh.
Very, again, Shadow of Colossus or like,
Yep.
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom kind of construct.
That's exactly what it reminds me of.
He's pretty neat.
You've got a cool card to talk about, Angel. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk about so for the next one, my little Roboblox buddy, Block Golem, another Golem, 3 costs, 2 cost reduction. At level 1, 2, 3 when he attacks has crush, and then at level 2 and 3 during opponent's attack step, if one of your Nexuses has a soul core on it, this spirit can block all of your opponent's spirits that cost 5 or fewer, even if exhausted. At level 1 for 1 course at 3k, level 2 for 3 cores 4k, and level 3 for 4 cores 6k. So this card's really good.
Built-in
I like this card.
suppression if one of your Nexuses has a soul core.
I like it.
That's
I like
stupid.
I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, he's
Artwork's
good.
cool. the wall shadow of where he came out of is cool.
Yeah.
You know, like everything's cool.
Oh man.
So Axe Spider 2.0 right here.
There you go. Honestly.
Ban him.
Ban Block Golem.
This is totally unrelated to any of this, and this is probably only for a very niche portion of our audience.
Are you about to mention Cubics?
I am!
Cubics, yeah.
I'm that niche audience, my dude.
Yeah. I can see that. Cubics.
I was about to say, that's so fucking funny.
Oh,
I was about to say, he reminds me of a Cubics character.
Yeah.
Dude, Cubics, robots for everyone, man.
Hey, Robot Quest Arena. There we go. That's the next character right there.
Oh,
that is so funny that you read my mind.
Eric,
like
I fucking love you, man.
that.
It's amazing.
I love this card though. I think it's good. I think it's really good. And I think, I just said Rock Golem maybe doesn't go in the Crush deck. I think this bridges that gap where like maybe I was just wrong with my initial statement. Like,
no, I don't know.
You do want the Soul Core on your Nexuses and you want to do some stuff, and I mean you're just swapping around the Soul Core. I like that the Soul Core where its placement is matters. I think that's fun.
I do too. That is cool. It's a neat mechanic, and the fact that they're exploring that a little bit more, especially on the Nexus side of it, is really neat. And I think this guy is not that big of a problem because while he can block your opponent's spirits that cost 5 or fewer, the biggest he's going to get is 6k without any help. And you can get over that. But again, what I'm seeing from blue so far is a lot of like early game control, and that extends into a mid-range kind of build or a long-term kind of control deck. And I think that's neat. I think it's needed. I think there's a lot of room for that archetype, and I think Black Golem is really good.
And I think that's what it wants to do, though, right? Like you're disrupting early on, so you can get whatever your field of nexuses for whatever long-term end game plan you have, Or, like Eric was alluding to, that we'll get to at some point, you're crushing almost every turn. You're just powering up your later cards that you summon. So yeah, it's I like it, man. So I'm really digging blue. I didn't think I was gonna like blue as much.
Same.
And so far, everything that's been revealed and we've seen, I'm like, man, that's really annoying. And I like to be that annoying control player. So it's like, I'm just gonna annoy you.
This guy too, like you're exactly right. Like you get this guy out early. You can still attack with him because he can still block the next turn while he's exhausted. And instead of putting more creatures down to, protect against a wide board, this guy does it. And so you're putting Nexuses down each turn instead of more bodies for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, there are these bodies that interact with your Nexuses that are destroying your opponent and milling their deck. And I think Block Golem's going to be a big staple. I would say champ.
He's getting those early crushes in to allow for you to set up for that, like you said, Cam, that mid to late game. Like you're gonna be like, damn, Block Golem is what got me to this point. Like he didn't win me the game, but he got me here.
Yeah, he was plan A.
Yeah.
And he did a good job. And like you get a lot of information from seeing cards at all. Whether your opponent's playing them, whether you get a look into your opponent's hand, or you're discarding cards off the top of your opponent's deck. That's huge information.
One of the big things I'm always looking for as far as information goes is how many ice shields are left.
Yes.
And if you see ice shields go off the top, like, boom, that sucks for them and is great for you.
Yeah.
And now you know how many they have.
Yep.
Iron Golem is our next one here. So another Golem. Once
He's
again,
a fancy
making this,
boy.
He is fancy.
Making the Soul Core matter.
Yep.
So 4 cost 2 reduction Golem Spirit, level 1 for 1 core, 2k, level 2 for 3 cores, 4k. At level 2 only, your spirits and nexuses with a soul core on them cannot be selected by your opponent's magic effects. So your opponent's one of Volcanic Break is now blank.
Yep. That
for one thing.
One thing.
Oh, this is kind of, you know what? I feel like Block Golem and Iron Golem are kind of like they took Axe Spider and kind of split it into 2 different cards or something.
That's what I was thinking. You know? Yeah, like it's the combo pieces. If you're starting to think about deck building with blue, these are cards that you want to be looking at. They're both a common rarity, which definitely matters. But yeah, Block Golem and Iron Golem are going to introduce some really interesting decision points on your turn about where that soul core is going. and it's kind of a skill check. Once you've seen a little bit about your opponent's deck, like what colors are going into the discard pile, what tech they might have, you know where to put that soul core. I think it's really neat. And it definitely does take care of the Axe Spider problem because this is spread across 2 bodies, like Eric said. Looks like a good card. Another good card.
Yep. Especially for some Golem support. I would love to build a Golem deck.
Yeah, Golems are just fun.
All right, Cam, I'm really jealous that, once again, I'm jealous of y'all because this, I think, is the card that when I saw it, I was like, I'm playing blue. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Dude.
still going to be a green boy, but I think that blue might be my second color and then maybe even slot into my first place, like my very favorite color, if this card can really take off. So
I'm a sucker for ocean stuff because it terrifies me. So, like, Keyforge has Dark Tidings was the first set that introduced a house called Unfathomable, which is like Lovecraftian mermaids and stuff like that. So anytime that we see these kind of like Atlantis Triton wielding Zoros in this game, I'm really pumped about it. So this is Ocean Knight Allegro. It's a 6 cost reduced by 2 blue Sea Fae spirit. So I'm wondering if like Sea Fae and Wonder Fae and Sea Fae and Otherlanders might make a fun deck. But at level 2 and 3, when this spirit attacks, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, select their spirit that costs the most and destroy it. That's beautiful. At
That's
level
every
3.
time.
Yeah, every time when it attacks. And at level 3, while the spirit attacks, when the spirit reduces your opponent's life, you may exhaust one of your nexuses to select one of your Sea Fae spirits and refresh it, which could target himself, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at level 1, for 1 core, he's got 4k. Level 2, for 4 cores, 7k. Level 3, for 6 cores, 10k. So beefy. Powerful. You're going to want to attack with him if you got the cores on him. And those 2 abilities are insane. It's a rare, too. So again, it's not even like the X rare for that tribe, but definitely slots into crush decks. It's just good for the end game. You're taking care of a lot of the spirits that your opponent is working up to. Like, it's not about BP value. It's just whichever one costs the most, get rid of it.
Yep.
That's
This card's ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Like,
elk. You can get elk
Yeah.
with this.
Elk,
You
you
get
get
elk,
Medusa, as long as
Gigano-
she doesn't have blood curse on it.
Yep.
Like,
Gigano Rex.
Rex, yeah, this card's crazy. It's the mermaids of battle spirits for me. It's like,
Yeah. And again, that attack goes off before blocker is declared. And
Yep.
like, whew, that goes a
So-
long way, I think.
I know that this is kind of a janky thing, but of course this is, jank is where my mind is going to go first. I have this idea in my head of a blue-green aggro deck that uses this guy to deal with those bigger threats so that you can get through.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we have all the cards yet to make that a reality, but I feel like at some point in time we will have all the pieces to make that a deck, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
if you go wide with the little green guys and the little blue guys that crush, while you're ramping to get this guy down pretty early, I think that deck is super viable.
I mean, he doesn't have a single bad effect. I mean, it's nothing. You can't say to that. So it's
Yeah.
like,
He also to
Jesus.
10k.
Yeah, he does. And I feel like it's balanced so well. 4 cores for 7k, sure. 6 cores for 10k, I'll pay it. Especially in a green build, Eric. With that ramp, that's a good idea. BSS Tech, you heard it here first. Green blue.
Very rarely have I seen a card that has like level 3 for over 4 or 5 cores, and I've been like, I'm gonna do that. But
Yeah.
this one, I'm like, I'll put 6 cores on this guy.
yeah,
He takes out the thing that can block him first, and then he can't be killed, and then he refreshes himself. Like, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
do it all over again.
There's also, I don't know if this is possible yet, but my mind is also thinking like, is there a way to make him an Otherlander and then give him unblockable, or like some weird combo of things, or make him another lander and then somehow give
That's
his
what I'm
ability
saying.
to,
I think
to Joker.
blue yellow
or-
here could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's not a fully fleshed out idea, but there's something in there that I want to explore. I just think this is my card I know we haven't gotten through all of them yet, but this is my card of blue. Like out of blue, this is the card that I'm like most excited about. This one, right?
Very cool looking.
What I like the most about this card, because I compare it to Yu-Gi-Oh, is the top half of them reminds me of Blackluster Soldier.
Oh yeah, it totally does.
It does.
Yeah,
Dude.
Blackluster Soldier.
Oh, I can't unsee that. That's so sick.
You're welcome. You heard it here first.
Is he fighting a fish, or is that like his own fishtail, or like what's going on here?
I think that's his own. He's got like a fishtail coming out of his head and out of his lower half, and he's very Gyarados anthropomorphized, and
he's also just all abs.
So many abs.
Like he doesn't even have a chest; he just has abs all the way up,
all the way up to his neck.
He got a 20-pack. Like screw that.
Yeah.
Daddy of the sea. Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about abs, the next guy has some abs, and I think I'm saying his name right. Sea Lancer Subito, maybe, or Subito.
Sure.
I want to say that like it's like an anime, Subito. But he's a 4-cost, 2-cost reduction. He's also a Sea Fae, level 1, 2, and 3 during either attack step. At the start of the step, you may exhaust one of your nexuses to treat this spirit as level 3 during this turn. At level 3, when the spirit attacks, select one of your opponent's spirits that costs 3 or fewer and destroy it. If you destroy a spirit with this effect, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Level 1, 1 core, 2k. Level 2, 2 cores, 3k. Level 3, 6 cores, 6k.
Unreal.
That level 3 is insane. It's like...
Yeah, but you're never paying the cores for that because of you just exhaust one of your nexuses.
Yep.
Because you don't really, most of the time you're not needing your nexuses to be readied during either attack step. Like that's.
I mean, and most nexuses still get the effect, right? Unless the nexus says like, if this is exhausted, you don't get X factor of effect. But most nexuses still go off whether they're exhausted or not. So
right.
I really like this dynamic where now the nexuses have more of a role to play as well.
Yeah.
Just being there, standing up. So, and that effect is insane. I mean, you pair this guy with the last guy, Ocean Knight Allegro, like holy crap.
Yeah.
Seafarers are coming fighting, and he has a cool little armor, crazy abs, cool little purple color. I like it.
Yeah.
You also maybe don't even care about what your nexuses are doing. Like maybe you just like passively get some effects from your nexuses, and you're like, oh, cool, whatever. But you really just need them there as stuff. To exhaust.
This guy works out of color, is what I'm thinking.
Ooh.
I think this guy is pretty good as a 4-drop in any color that uses nexuses.
Oh yeah. Because you just kill little things with it.
Kill and mill, baby.
And then maybe you discard an ice shield, and you're like, oh, nice, some added value.
3 cards is huge.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's good outside of blue and in blue.
In a 60-card deck, that's like 5% of their deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing 2 things. I mean, you're potentially popping a spirit and milling their deck. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Eric, you got that next.
Yeah, it's me.
You got Undersea Mommy.
We've got Golem Mommy. She really is a Golem Mommy. Like, she makes them. Golem Constructor, a 5-cost 3 reduction Sea Fae Spirit. At level 1 and level 2, when summoned, you may select one of your nexuses and destroy it to summon one of your Golem tokens. So you have to destroy a nexus to do this, but we have ways to get the nexuses back. But Golem tokens, which, by the way, I need to make some absolute BSS Golem tokens at some point.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm gonna make them. I was actually thinking about this today. I was thinking of either making them look like the Golem guy from Monster Rancher, or maybe like making them look like one of the Golems from like Minecraft or something.
Sure.
Since it's just one new token type, I might do both and make it like double-sided. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yet to see. But anyways,
here first.
We need more stuff to hand out for free whenever we see people. Everybody has our Ant-Man and Mecha tokens. Now we need the new tokens. Anyways, the Golems are Token Spirit Blue 0-cost Golem, and at level 1 for 1 core, 10,000 BP.
That's insane.
That's so stupid.
10,000 BP. She's level 1 for 1 core 3k, level 2 for 4 cores 5k, but honestly, I don't even think you really care. I think you just use her to chump block after you make the golem token. Like I don't think you really give a shit about keeping her out.
Yeah.
Your use is done, mommy. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Just here for one thing and one
I mean,
thing
what
only.
are the other tokens BP? Like what, 1,000?
1,000 and
4,000?
3,000.
Or 3,000?
Blue players
So-
just want one thing, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's crazy.
That's nuts. A 10k token out of nowhere on a spirit that costs 2 at a good point of the game. Like that's stupid. Who let golem tokens be so big? Spring of Norn, they
question.
refresh.
Hang on a second.
They don't even come in exhausted. Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah, it doesn't come in exhausted. It's not like Worker Ant or what's it, Ant
Ant-Man
General or whatever it is.
And Ant Strike Back.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm eating candy corn, by the way, in case anybody's wondering what I'm chewing on. I'll stop chewing. I went to look at Giant Beast Forest to read the wording because I was like, hang on a second. Does this trigger Giant Beast Forest? It does not. It has to be destroyed by your opponent.
Nice. Nice thinking, though.
I was just like, does that card finally make sense? And it doesn't.
It still doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think there are some Nexuses that we'll read later that are blue that maybe trigger off of that. But I don't know.
Like,
We'll wait till we get to them.
if that even happens, but like even without that, just like, holy shit. You get rid of one of your Nexuses and you get a 10k body in its place that's ready to go. What the fuck? That's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna end the game, you don't even care. You'll get rid of like
Netherworld Depths. Oh wait.
That guy
Bandai already did that. Bandai really put the ban in Bandai.
Bandai fucking Harpies feather duster that shit. It's gone. It's gone.
Oh man.
Not to do the stereotypical podcast thing, but I think putting the ban in Bandai is definitely a strong contender for the name of this episode.
That might be the episode title.
That might be the episode title.
Look, we're really trying to get into the depths of this card, all right?
Nice.
That's what it is, so.
Man. We're just 3 peas in a fucking pot, aren't we, boys? All right, speaking of mommies, here's Deep Sea Fanatic. My gosh. These illustrators, they need to calm down.
I'm pretty
Shadowverse?
Sure I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that they got a Shadowverse illustrator to draw this one.
Jeez Louise. Deep Sea Fanatic, 3 cost, reduced by 1. Blue Sea Phase Spirit. I love the Sea Phase so far. This is the 4th one. When summoned at level 1, 2, and 3, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You may place a Nexus card from the revealed cards on top of your deck. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Level 1 for 1k, level 1 for 1 core is 1k. Level 2 for 4 cores is 4k. Level 3 for 5 cores is 5k. Maybe I'm super ignorant, and I've talked about how I don't love Nexuses that much, but like, that doesn't feel that good, right?
I mean, it depends what kind of deck you got, right? I mean,
it feels
what else?
slow.
It does, but I'm sure there's got to be a point for it, right? Especially the way Blue's coming. Maybe there's something that you're looking for, a specific Nexus for a certain reason. I'm not sure, but
I guess
off the top, yes. But looking at other things, I'm sure it has a point what it ties in for.
Yeah, if you're looking for something specific, getting it next turn instead of 4 turns from then, I guess that is good.
Yeah.
I don't love. I never liked scrying in Magic. I don't know why. I guess I kind of like the surprise of top decking. Maybe that's my toxic trait. I'd rather not know what I'm about to draw because it feels like I'm losing a turn. I don't know. And especially like if you reveal it, your opponent knows what's going to happen next turn, like what you're drawing.
But
into.
also too, though, like, you know, let's just say you're facing a mirror match or something like that.
True.
You might see a card that you're really trying to protect. You're gonna put it at the bottom of the deck, right? For now. I know you'll see it later, but if your opponent's milling you anyways because they're crushing you, they're really just helping you thin out your deck, and at least you're protecting whatever viable piece you're waiting on.
That's such a good point, man. Wow.
I never would have thought of that.
Me
That's
neither.
Interesting.
You heard it here first. That's the team this year.
I think this is going to be one of those cards that we revisit later when there's some sort of Nexus combo deck, and then this helps you get the combo to go off. But yeah, I agree. I think with everything I've seen so far, this is probably not something I'm excited about to put into my blue deck. But
yeah,
I could very easily see this card finding a place in the future if there's a reason that you need a specific nexus that is going to do some crazy shit. I'm just thinking like anytime there's cards that allow you to search for something, usually you're searching for an answer. You're either searching for an answer or you're searching for a combo piece. So because I don't think there's a viable combo deck yet, I think the only reason you would want to use this is to search for an answer. And I don't think I've seen a nexus that is really like an answer to something really. Like maybe Rocket City to Netherworld depths, but we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Right.
But like, I don't really. If I'm searching for something, I'm probably searching for magic or a spirit, not a nexus. Like I'm hoping that I get like my Ice Shield or my Burning Force or like something like that. So
and it always bums me out when you have to reveal cards and you suddenly have all this information, but then you have to get rid of them in some way. Like there's a card in Keyforge called Igor that I really love, but at the same time I hate because it's like on play, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You can add 1 to your hand and you discard the other 2. And in Keyforge, when you run through your deck, you just shuffle it back and you start it over. But still, at the time, like if you're you have to make that decision in that space. It's like, what can help me right now? And it doesn't matter if the other 2 cards could help you later. In most cases, you're probably not going to take that card, and then it gets sent to the discard. And so it feels bad to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cool art.
It is cool art. I like it. I'm sure there's a place for it. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. But it's not as cool as this next card though. And I'm probably gonna say the name wrong, but it's all right. Conquest Mayo? Oh, Nirvana? Maybe.
Mayo!
Mayo! So it's another awesome
it's
war
time
god.
To Mayo!
Yeah, Mayo!
Yeah.
But he is a war god, another cool badass war god. I think it's the first X rare that we're gonna talk about. So cost 8, 3 cost reduction. At level 1, 2, or 3, when he attacks, has Crush with +2 though. And then at level 2 and 3 when he attacks, I think another key word for blue is Raid 1, which what that does is up to a specified number of times per turn, you may exhaust one of your nexuses to refresh the spirit. Level 1 for 1 core is 6k, level 2 for 3 cores 8k, and level 3 for 6 cores 11k. So, I mean, dude, Crush +2, so that means you can mill, 5 cards? And then you got the Raid.
And then if you have Drag Golem, you get to trigger the same Crush 2 times.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're literally like milling out like 10 cards at a time. And you just keep refreshing them and attacking. And that's where I think, like, for example, like we're talking about long-term game, right? You're setting up as many nexuses as possible. Get this guy out and just keep refreshing them as many times as you can,
Yeah, I mean, the raid is limited to 1, but
it's limited to 1, though. That is true. Like,
but the other cards, like, I mean, Drag Golem alone, you get 2 crushes at 5. That's 20 cards.
Yeah, this guy's crazy. I think this is the one that we talked about that we had seen a long time ago, and like somebody had spoiled it, right, Eric? I think this is the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
That you saw a long time ago.
So this is the starter deck guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's important to note here we are moving into starter deck cards. So the next few cards we're going to see, I think, are... Is it all the rest of them? I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's all starter deck from here on out. I was going to make a joke. You know why his name is Mayo-O?
What's that?
When you mill the cards off of the top of your opponent's deck, they see what you milled and they go, Mayo-O.
I like it.
I like it, yeah.
Thanks for the laugh. I appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome.
That's a lot of cards going to the discard pile, and he's got an insane stat line.
He does. I mean, he's going to be hard to remove off the board even at level 1. So,
yeah.
Once again, though, unless you have Volcanic Break, you're 1 off.
There you go. Volcanic Break does take care of him at level 1.
So,
how tragic that Volcanic Break is the answer to all of these.
I think it's just the one thing on our mind.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't even be thinking about it at all. I feel like typically my BP thresholds for stuff is just, does it die to Burning Force?
Yeah,
that's like my typical threshold, and he does not.
He does not.
So, yeah, he's really fucking good.
Yeah, I think it's only a good card. Really solid X rare for us to see so far. It's that War God
I guarantee
tribal.
you, he's gonna be the Grand Open. The next set, Wave 3's Grand Open. He's gonna be like the exclusive card or whatever that you win
Oh, I
with the
believe
alternate
it.
art.
Yeah.
Because I can really see him being even more badass looking. Because there's so much
Yeah.
going on in his artwork.
So cool. Looks like a Final Fantasy boss. Like the
So I don't know if
last
you guys
boss.
I don't know if you guys ever played a Soros Wrath. I think that's what it's called. Man, so look it up later. Like you'll see what I'm talking about. It reminds me of that art style. Like it's really cool.
Yeah, it's sick.
Lore here is really cool because I think we're learning that blue is the color that created or discovered the soul core.
Oh.
After texts describing the theory and manipulation of soul cores were brought back, the supreme commander on the front lines presented them to the hardliners ringleader Mandala.
I've seen hardliners show up in the flavor text on a few of these cards.
Yeah. So I guess there was like some sort of
they might be pulling the strings.
They discovered the soul core and like how to utilize it, and that's why there's all this like
maybe they started the war.
Maybe
they started that whole event that happened with a course flying out the sky.
They are war gods.
Yeah, hurting the little penguins. How dare you?
I know, my little pentans.
Bastards.
Yeah. Next card here, Island Bearer Francis.
What a cute guy.
Is this me?
He's a. this is me when my opponent's milling my entire deck.
Yeah,
I'm just
like I'll wait.
Yeah, whatever. I'm bored. So whatever. I want a snack.
5 cost 2 reduction War God Spirit. Level 1, 2, 3, he crashes +1.
Jeez.
Level 2 and 3, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, this spirit gains raid 1.
Jeez.
So up to 1 times per turn, you can exhaust a Nexus to refresh him. So pretty damn good.
I want to just build a mill deck immediately after this.
Yeah,
play
make some with Conquest. It's crazy.
Yeah. Level 1 for 1 core, 4K. Level 2 for 4 cores, 6K. Level 3 for 6 cores, 8K. So pretty decent stats, too. I think I could see him sitting there at 4 cores.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Even at 4K, 1 core, I think you're swinging with him the turn he comes in. You get 2 mills, and if you exhaust a Nexus, you get the refresh. It just depends on where you're at in the game, I guess, but...
Well, that second ability is only level 2.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
But I think you still get the crush too. Like that's still worth it.
Yeah,
as long as he's not
trying to load up. You're trying to load up your opponent's graveyard anyway, so your other cards.
For the most part.
Well, that's true because he needs cards for his second ability to trigger it all, anyways.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Man,
you're gonna have to make some decisions already when you're building a mill deck here.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be some spirits already that are not gonna make the cut.
I agree. And I would almost... This is definitely not a 4 of. I'll go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
He might be a 1 or 2. If I'm going full mill, he's a 1 or 2. He's good to see, but he's not like who I want to see all the time.
Yeah.
I want to see Allegro every time. So.
Every time. Yeah, I'm running 3 Allegros at least. Yeah, he's
and
cool.
Golem Constructor. That's what I want to see.
Oh, goodness. More abs. So, interesting. Okay, Retainer Mayo Rudra. So this is a 3 cost, reduced by 1, blue War God Spirit. At level 1, 2, and 3, it has Crush. No modifier, just straight up Crush. Level 1 for 1 core, it's 3K. Level 2 for 4 cores, it's 5K. Level 3 for 6 cores, it's 7K. So again, I'm pleased with the scaling as far as like how expensive it is to get those extra mills. But they do make the stat lines a little worth it. Like those are decent stats. He's not at a Burning Force range though, unless he has 4 cores on it, and that's a little tough.
He's just straight up worse than the giant platoon though, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a starter deck card, so I guess the idea is you get the starter deck, you have him in it, and then you get booster packs, and you're like, oh, giant platoon is better. So.
Yep, exactly. Cool looking art. Very cool looking art. I love the very ornamental, like kind of, almost like Indian kind of like adornments.
Yeah,
and
like
it's very like Vishnu. Very like it's cool. It's very very neat.
No, I like it. Wargard's looking good. I like it.
Yeah.
I just Googled Mayo O. It says it's Japanese Buddhist guardians.
Oh,
I can
in
see
the
that.
Buddhist mythology of Japan, fierce protective deities corresponding to the. I'm not going to say that word because I'm going to say it wrong. But
sure.
yeah, some sort
Yeah.
of.
It
So
gives
there's
Shin Megami Tensei once again.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yep.
some. It's interesting, like the interweaving of the battle spirits lore with like real
Real world
world
lore.
stuff is cool.
Yeah.
I always love that shit.
Yeah.
It's so neat to see where they draw inspiration.
It also makes me wonder if like if the battle spirits world is like our world, like in well, I think it actually is in the anime, if I remember correctly from the couple episodes I watched. It's like in the far future or the far past or
Ah,
something. So
that's neat.
kind of interesting. Yeah. I could be wrong about that, but
Oh, this dude fucking rules.
is this Angel's card?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my card, not your card, Cam, ain't it?
No, I just did my
Oh, you just did that one,
retainer.
right? Okay. Well, let me talk to you guy, Mr. Giant Captain Jason. He is not playing around. So he another war god, cost 4, 2 cost reduction, at level 1, 2, and 3 when he attacks, has crush +1. Level 1, 1 core 4,000. Level 2, 5 core 6,000. Level 3, 7 cores 8,000. So I don't know if I ever beef him up all the way to level 3, but level 2 though, even level 1 out of burning force range already when
Yeah.
he's summoned. And
2-card
you're
mill.
milling 2-card mill, yeah. So he's really good. I mean, I would play him over the last one. So
For sure.
This is so interesting that the levels give you more than just BP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
so
like
cool.
it. Yeah, it's like they give you an additional effect of what else they're for. So I like how they do that. So
Not that green needs more ramp, but I think it'd be so cool if there was a green card kind of similar to like the Heaven's Cloak butterfly, where like you get a core when you pull it in, but like you get more cores if you like pull it in at a higher level or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat. This guy
Yeah,
also proves your blue-green theory as very, very cool. Like, if you have those extra cores to spare, you're just dropping this guy and block golem, and then you can afford to put all the cores on both of those things, and they're just milling.
It seems like there's ways to bump things up to level 3 without having to use the cores as well, though. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if there's like
because that one card it says what's it? As long as somebody has a soul core on it, and if they're blocked, bump them to their highest level for this turn. Is it the dragon? I think it was the dragon, wasn't it?
It was the dragon.
Yeah, the Dragolem.
Dragolem.
That
Yeah,
card is that card is maybe I originally thought Allegro, but maybe Dragolem is
Dragolem's very good.
It's the MVP. I think Dragolem is the MVP.
Yeah, I think general blue. I think Allegro so far for me, but then as far as like
if you're
crush,
crushing,
Dragolem is
yeah,
it's nutty.
Yeah,
Jason's cool.
What do you guys think about the fact that his name is Jason? It's just kind of funny to me.
I love it. It's very like Greek god, you know. They just had pretty normal names for the most part.
Yeah. It feels like naming your dog Keith or something. Like
I mean,
I love that.
You got Giant Captain Jason, and then you have Giant King Randolph, and then you have Warhammer Gordon. So these guys are very civilized war gods, you know, just doing their thing.
Jason, I love him. He's cool.
He reminds me of like a Lord of the Rings character, though.
Yeah, he's giving Gimli.
Yeah.
I like him.
Fort Golem is our next card here.
This
dude looks like Big O.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Big O?
Yeah.
With like the arm things.
Uh-huh.
Fucking cool. This card costs 4 in your hand if you control a Nexus.
That's nuts.
That is cool. He normally costs 6 reduced by 2. Does he keep the cost reduction?
Yeah. It would be 4 reduced by 2 if you control a Nexus.
Holy shit. So that's awesome.
That's pretty good.
Level 1 for 1 core, 4K. Level 2 for 4 cores, 8K. All right, let's see what else he does. This is the moment of truth for Fort Golem. I love him already, but let's see. At level 2, when he attacks, you may exhaust one of your Nexuses to select one of your opponent's spirits that cost 3 or fewer and destroy it.
Beautiful.
I dig him.
Yep.
He's good.
Good card.
Good.
Solid. Just a solid card.
Yep. Good card.
Double cost reduction. You can play him almost at 8,000 BP for only 4 cores. And then you pop.
I think golems fit with the mech tribe, white blue.
Yeah.
Derm Dynadex, I think you slot a couple of blues in, especially this guy. Like just as a fun little tech, he's only going to cost 4. In a mostly white deck, that's still affordable, and white plays a lot of Nexuses anyway, so it's kind of cool to just have that little bit of removal and that pretty decent buff stat. I like Fort Golem.
Yeah. Do some like Infinity Mothership stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
For sure. All right, from Fort Golem to Bronze Golem. This is a 3-cost reduced by 1 blue Golem Spirit. Level 1, 2, and 3. When destroyed, select one of your Nexuses and place a core from the void onto it. So we have blue ramp.
Yeah.
It's Emerant Man for Nexuses.
Yep.
And that sounds pretty good. I like, eventually they're going to have to jump block him. I think he's cool. I don't know if I'm overvaluing him, but at 1 core, level 1, 3K. Level 2 for 3 cores is 4K, so that's not bad. Level 3 for 4 cores is 6K, so that's even another decent jump with 1 more core. And if you're ramping it anyway with, multiple copies of Bronze Golem, I think he's decent.
Yeah. I mean, his low curve is, low enough that he's good. And his effect, it's when destroyed, so it's not based on a level, it's just when destroyed, so.
Yep. I mean, and you could even destroy him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Deadly
I was
balance.
about to say, there's one thing about the wording of this that I think takes it to the next level is it doesn't have to be destroyed by your opponent.
Right.
Nope.
So I could see him
slots
slotting into
other
purple.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Sacrifice him.
And purple has a lot of expensive level 2 Nexus costs, so I think a blue purple deck kind of makes sense. Once he finally dies,
thought
you
was
might trigger
like-
something.
My immediate thought was like, oh, the second ability on depths, and then you can put cores on, and then I was like, oh, never mind.
Or one for the homie. That's gone.
Yeah.
That's died today.
Netherworld
Sad
who?
day.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Netherworld.
It's one less card to remember what it does or not remember.
Yeah.
All right, Angel.
Well, I guess going into that golem, we're gonna go into the Humpy Dumpy with armor golem. I'm not even trying to say that Mithril golem. Is that how you would say that?
Yeah.
Mithril golem. So pretty expensive. Cost 6, 3 cost reduction. Vanilla card. Level 1 with 1 core is 6K. Level 2 for 3 cores is 9K. So expensive, but beefy stats.
I love him.
It's a golem, so I'm sure there's going to be some kind of golem synergy that happens. He looks dope. Like I said, it's Humpy Dumpy with armor, so I like it.
I love him. I'm making a mech token, golem token, and Texas Golem Spring of Norn deck. I'm already building it in my head.
Yeah, you want them vanillas.
This son of a bitch is in it. 3 copies, baby.
Does his armor say something above the wings?
Yeah, it says like, I'm not going to try to, some kind of language,
yeah.
PHOXLTN, who knows. I'm sure we'll find it in the lore. It's definitely something ancient.
The
for sure.
Hardliners had existed as a group for ages, but had lacked the political power necessary to challenge the Emperor. Their rise to prominence came after the Golem Corps under their command defeated the Void Lord. Imperial Chronicle, year 253, page 123.
All right.
Man, he's got a cool cape and everything.
Yeah, got a little general symbol, so like 4 little blue stones. Pretty cool guy.
I like him. Leading the charge in my Spring of Norn deck, baby. Coming to a regional near you.
Maybe. Am I next?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this card's cool.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Rammer Golem. Man, I love the golems. They're cool.
Yeah, they're
I really
fun.
like them.
Yeah.
My brother, if I showed him all these golems, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'll play Battle Spirits."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I left him some starter decks, didn't I? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I hope he plays.
He wants to play. He wants me to teach him though, but
cool.
Yeah, I'll make.
You
that
should
happen.
definitely do that. I could see him getting into it.
I
At least just
think
like
he would,
I could see him casually getting into it.
Yeah, like he'd go to an event with me if it was like up near him,
Yeah.
for sure.
So Rammer Golem, 2 cost, 1 reduction golem. For level 1, 1 core 1K, level 2, 4 cores 4K. At both levels during either attack steps, as your turn or your opponent's, when one of your blue nexuses is exhausted, which is going to happen quite a lot, select one of your opponent's spirits that cost 4 or fewer and destroy it. That's
absurd.
Nuts. Because your other spirits that are exhausting your nexuses to do things
too,
he's a combo maker. He's a combo maker for cheap.
He's just like, oh, you know that like really good thing you did with that other spirit when you exhausted the nexus? Yeah, how about you just go ahead and kill something too?
4 or fewer. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That
You know,
takes
that's why
care
I
of
guess
so
I guess
many
that's why he
things.
looks like the Rock'em Sock'em robots.
He
I'm
does.
just gonna come in and punch this out. Like,
He's
get it out of here.
giving Metabots. I love him.
You know, something to think about with Bronze Golem and Emmer Ant-Man at the top of my mind
Yeah.
is that all of these effects don't say you may. It says that you have to.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe if this strategy becomes really popular, you could kind of play into it by playing cards like that, where, like, they pop your stuff that you want them to kill.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
So that's something to consider. I don't know how viable this strategy is going to be. It seems good, but I guess
that's a
time
good
will
point.
tell.
Like Rammer Golem, you know, if all they have is like Tin Soldiers or Emerant Man, like it does benefit them. If all they have are the Amethystus guys and you have to destroy them, they're going to get a draw. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
could
think
definitely see
more
that.
often than not, it's going to go whoever's controlling Rammer Golem's way a little better. But you're totally
Yeah.
right. You're totally right. I
Well,
could see some defense.
they're probably going to destroy your like worker Ant-Man, and that's going to suck.
Yeah, Worker Ant-Man is not safe anymore.
Yeah.
Ban Worker Ant-Man. No, I'm just kidding. No, Rammer Golem is cool. That's a 4 of. Especially
Yeah.
because, like, you know, he's so cheap. He's cost
Are you-
reduction.
Are you? Probably not. I was going to say, are you playing this in your 2-cost deck? I don't. Maybe not, because
no,
it doesn't have the synergy.
It depends
there.
on the blue nexuses. Yeah, I probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But he is a cool 2-cost in general.
Yeah.
Next one, another textless. I love this. Manticore. Very cool card.
Manticore.
Looks like a Manticore, but is very ruby red bloody. This reminds me of like Sphinx cards in Magic the Gathering, like very blue red.
Yeah.
3 cost, reduced by 2, an aberration blue spirit. Texas, like I said, at level 1 for 1 core, it's 3k. Level 2 for 5 cores is 6k. Not very good.
Starter deck card.
Starter deck card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
It's just it's a holder, a vanilla holder.
It is.
I don't. It's okay, I guess,
It's
for
cool
starter
looking,
deck
but
purposes.
that is so expensive.
I
know
don't see
it's
this being
cheap.
competitive play. Yeah, I don't see this being competitive play.
Not my
It's literally
favorite.
a starter deck. Yeah, it's cool looking, but I don't unless that archetype becomes something later on.
Yeah, if aberrations come out and are like treat all of your level 1 aberrations as their highest level.
Yeah,
Then
something like that.
but yeah, probably not.
Even then, I don't think that this card's very good.
No,
Yeah,
that's a chump. That's our
In
first
the ba-
definite
yeah.
chump.
If the best case scenario for a card still makes it bad,
Yeah.
I think it's a chump.
I think so.
This is a plant based vanilla ice cream card. So
That's right.
No bueno, no
This is
bueno.
that paper straw that you're chewing on by
Yeah.
the end of your coffee. All
You're
right.
like, I guess I'll drink with it because it's all I've got, but I want to throw this shit away.
Yeah.
Well, this next vanilla at least kind of looks cool. It's Hollow Sea Beast Emmer Hydro, aka Blue Ice Ultimate White Dragon.
Yeah.
It's a Hydra. I think that's the first other archetype which now got introduced.
I'm excited. I want more Hydras.
4 cost, 3 cost reduction. For 1 core, level 1, 4,000. Level 2 for 4 cores, 8,000. So another good old vanilla, very Greekish Hercules from Disney, Hydra synergy to it. Looks cool.
It's better than Manticore, you know, like if you're going
stats are
wide,
better.
it's not bad to have a one drop 1 core 4K. But
I mean, yeah, you think about it, for 8K, 4 cores, well, Manticore is 5 cores for 6K. So stats are definitely better on this thing. So
yeah, but again, I don't see this one playing much. It's obviously a starter card. It's got some lore for us in the textlessness of it, but it's cool as shit.
It is
looking.
cool though.
But yeah,
This is my problem with them. I'm going to take this moment to step on my soapbox.
absolutely.
This is my problem with the vanilla cards. And I get this because this is starter deck, right? Like, starter deck is supposed to come with, like, when you buy a starter deck, what you expect is, like, a new player uses that as an entry point to the game to start their collection. They need some cards in there that are very obvious, like, when you buy a booster pack, oh, this card is better than Manticore. This card is better than this Hydra. Obviously, I swapped these out. I think that's great. that when we're printing, like vanilla cards for the actual set, I think there are some really cool strategies for vanilla cards, but I almost feel like I'm like, okay, we have enough now.
Yeah.
You know, like we
Yeah.
have plenty to choose from. Like unless you're printing a vanilla card that is just straight up like, ooh, if somebody is building Spring of Norn or somebody is building a vanilla based deck, like that one goes in. I feel like we don't need it.
I agree.
Even if the spirit type is relevant, I still feel like even if Hydras become relevant, by the time Hydras become relevant, we will have enough Hydra cards that I still won't play this card. I would
assume that too.
Yeah.
And Aberration, whatever.
I just feel like the last two sets, there's been a lot of vanilla cards being introduced to the game for all colors, really. But it's almost like, I don't know, towards the end of the year, so let's just fill a box cards here, just to say we have, and then next year we'll start all over again with effect cards. So
it's for the collectors, I think. It's like it's neat art. It's another card to add to a big binder to show that you like got every card. Like, but as far as competitive play, these things will never see the light of day.
I think you can do vanillas in such a way, like Map Butterfly, I think is a perfect example of a vanilla card that is highly playable because it gives you, it's zero cost, so it gives you cost reduction.
Yep.
Even some of the one cost vanilla spirits we've seen have, like Over Raptidon was so good that it got banned.
Yep. Exactly. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Over Raptidon is textless.
Yeah.
But it feels
textless,
so
and
powerful.
he's useless now.
Yeah.
He is deckless now because he cannot.
You know what sucks? Over Raptidon is the card that I've pulled by far the most foils of. So I have a foil playset.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, just at the first release weekend, I had a full playset of those foils.
Yeah, I did as well. That, and I think I got a few rain needles as well, actually.
Yeah, they're gonna look pretty in a binder.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, Battle Beast Bull Top Dog.
I love him.
I like that card.
He's best boy.
He's Lockjaw.
Good boy. Yeah, he is.
He's a 2-cost 1 reduction War Beast.
That's cool.
Spirit. He has like a soul core in his eye. Or something.
That's scary.
He's dead.
Level 1 for 1 core, 1k. Level 2 for 3 cores, 3k. And then at both levels, during your attack step, so only during your attack step, when a spirit card is discarded by your crush effect, select one of your spirits, place a core from the void onto it. So,
best boy!
Ramp.
Best boy!
Crazy ramp right there. Every time you attack a crush.
That's fucking nuts!
If it's a spirit, you ramp.
Does this trigger for every spirit discarded, or can it only trigger once?
I think it's it's triggering once in the crush effect, but still, like,
you think about it, you got 4 spirits to crush. That's if you could do the spirit each time. That's 4 more cores you got.
That is insane. Reward for for milling.
Dude, what I noticed with blue does everything well rounded. They pop.
It is good.
They draw. They disrupt. They mill. I mean, they control any aspect of it.
Blue is pretty good.
And he's such a cute boy.
He is.
This guy is an MVP.
Oh my gosh, one of the best things I've ever seen.
Just let him sit there. Don't even attack him. That way he's no risk of being damaged. Just let him sit there and just naturally get that on trigger effect every time.
He makes me want to do a blue-yellow 2-cost deck and try to figure that out.
He is too.
Yeah, like Blessed
you have to have crush,
Pentan, some crushes, but then mostly like these 2 drops. Battle Beast Bull Top Dog. Oh my gosh. Bull Top Dog, best boy. What a card. I'm
he would look so
out.
good in foil.
Oh my
he
gosh.
Awesome foil with that red eye.
Damn.
I love some alt arts of him.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, he'd be good.
Damn. Got to make a mill deck right after this.
Yeah, he's dope. I like
he would look really. Yeah, you're right. His foil's gonna look cool because I bet that eye is gonna glow.
Yeah.
That sells the starter deck right there. Him and the X rare.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh, you're right. This is the starter deck card, so you're not gonna get him in a foil.
Nope. Unless they make an alt art, which would be cool. He's great. He's great.
good.
We talked about Xeon.
Yep.
So now we're moving into the Nexuses and Spirits. We're almost done. Hey, you know what? I'm proud of us. We're at 90 minutes right now. We're doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
Ancient Colosseum. 4 cost, reduced by 2, blue Nexus. At level 1 and 2, all of your spirits with Crush gain 1,000 BP. And at level 2 for 3 cores, when your opponent summons a spirit with a when summoned effect, discard the top 4 cards of their deck.
My God.
What the fuck?
That costs
Good luck, purple. We can't do
That costs
any of
3
your
though,
summon.
but
It does
Yeah,
cost 3
but-
for level 2, but like, if you're
Dude.
ramping with Bull Top Dog, what the fuck? This is
Yeah.
crazy. Put your Soul Core on this and keep it alive too. Like, holy shit. That's
God.
really good. Another starter deck card. You need it.
didn't we see a card earlier that puts cores onto a Nexus from the
Yep.
Void or something?
The Bronze Golem.
Yeah.
When he's destroyed, you put a Nexus or a Void on. Well, wow. You know what I mean.
Yeah. You put something on
he's-
something.
When
like-
he's destroyed, you blow
Bronze Golem, when destroyed, select one of your Nexuses, place a core from the Void onto it. Yes, that's fucking awesome. Jeez
Yeah.
Louise.
that's a good card. Not much to say about it. It's good.
It's
It's a
just
good
good.
Nexus. It's
Yeah.
a good starter deck Nexus, and I'm sure this will definitely see play.
And
So,
it
Do you think-
looks cool?
yeah.
Do you think that snake that removes a core from Nexuses is going to be playable now that blue is out?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you would need that, for something like this, right, before you try to go out. Well, snake is when an attack or when a summon.
Oh,
if it's wind
shit.
summon, that sucks.
If it's when summoned, yeah, it's like, oh,
Like,
just
at
ramp.
that point.
Jeez 'em.
No,
Or
that's a
not
good
ramp,
Nexus,
but
though.
mill. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
so good.
It's when summoned.
That's
So-
fucking ridiculous.
That's funny.
But I wonder. I don't know how the sequence would go, right? Because one summon that will go off first. You remove the core, and then that, or does that happen simultaneously?
That's a good
'Cause I think the
point.
one summon. I think the one summon goes off. Then the Nexus tries to resolve. It doesn't have the cores now, so maybe I don't know.
So
But that's
I would
the topic.
assume that this would trigger kind of like a burst would. So it's after. Oh, but it doesn't say after your opponent resolves
No.
the one
Yeah,
summon
it just
effect.
says when your
No.
opponent summons a spirit.
That's
I think-
gonna be that's a question.
I think they would both trigger. Here's how I think it would probably resolve. And of course, sometimes in Bandai's FAQ, they make a ruling just kind of based on how they meant for it to work, not how
Yeah.
it actually reads.
Yeah.
The way that it reads right now, because it doesn't say that it has to resolve a when summoned effect, it
Right.
just says that they have to summon something with a when summoned effect. I would imagine that both effects trigger at the same time. The active player, so the person with the snake, would get to choose the order of those effects, but they would both still
They'll
trigger.
go off.
It prevents
Yeah.
it from continuing to trigger for the rest of the
Yeah.
turn. So that is still
But-
good.
But they also might come out in the FAQ and be like, "Nope, that's not how it works."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who knows?
Maybe. Otherwise,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I could see this card getting out of hand.
Yeah. All in all, still a good Nexus though. I
It's
like
expensive. It's worth the cost. Like a lot of those purples. I'm telling you, blue purple, with some of their expensive Nexuses, we might be seeing that combination creep up. And this is definitely one that's going in there a lot. So you got to get
Oh yeah.
at least one copy of the blue starter deck. We don't know
Yeah.
how many cards or copies of this come in it yet, but that'd be good.
Good. I think it'd be 2. Usually, isn't it 2 per?
I feel like 2 sounds
That's,
right.
yeah. I think it'd be 2 because usually
They
you need two
actually-
starter decks to get a set.
Yeah.
On their website now, they I believe for the product page for that, they do actually list the amounts.
Oh,
So-
cool.
Oh, they're getting fancy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking that up.
Yeah,
Oh,
where you looking
There
at?
are 3 copies of that card.
Oh wow.
You know what?
Yeah.
3's a good number for that. I don't love running 4 of the same Nexus unless it's Depths or Blessed Cathedral
Yeah.
or
There
Volcanic
are-
Canyon.
There are 4 copies of Battle Beast Bull Top Dog.
Yes!
Nice.
Let's go! I
Good
love
boy.
him. The best boy. All right, Angel. You got
All
this
right,
next
next
Nexus?
Nexus.
Nice.
Honorable Duel. So it's another 4-cost Nexus with 2-cost reduction. At level 1 and 2 during your attack step, when one of your spirits with a soul core on it destroys one of your opponent's spirits, via comparing BP. Discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and the level 1 0 cores. And for level 2 with 2 cores, during your end step, at the start of the step, select one of your Golem or War God Spirits and refresh it. So,
Very nice.
I like it. Very nice.
It can kind of be non-Bowie with that Soul Core, just because some things want the Soul Core on the Nexus. There is one, one of the Golems that's actually in this art, it looks like, once that Soul Core. So that is where the combo comes into place. But that second ability for only 2 cores, as a Spring of Norn fanatic, I love this card.
Yeah, and you just refresh them,
it's pretty good. Again, blue really takes into account where that Soul Core is sitting, and I really like that mechanic is being fleshed out a little bit more. It's
all
cool.
I see with these Nexuses in my mind, Feral Slash.
Yeah.
This is like bye-bye.
Feral Slash just got upgraded, dude.
Keep in mind that Nexuses also now exhaust to do other stuff.
Yes.
As well. So
and you can bring Nexuses back now too, though. So if you waste a Feral Slash on it, okay, I'll bring it back next turn. Here you go.
This card, if it's exhausted, still triggers.
Yep.
That's nuts. Blue is so cool. I can't wait to build a blue deck when we're done recording.
Well, you're about to read the coolest blue card.
Yeah.
It's your turn, man. I like it.
Oh no, I think
this is Eric.
Oh,
this
your
is
turn,
Eric.
Oh, Eric, you finally get a cool card to read, Eric.
I mean, I think Bulltop Dog was a surprise.
I mean, yeah,
but Graceful Charity, man.
Graceful Charity.
Yeah, so Strong Draw being referred to as Graceful Charity from Yu-Gi-Oh, because it does the same thing. 3 cost, 2 reduction magic. I do want to point out that this is a magic from set 3, not from the starter deck.
Yes.
So this does not come in the starter deck. But very, very good card. You're going to want a full play set of these for sure. It has a main effect. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. That is...
What does that sound like? This is like the Yu-Gi-Oh comparison episode. I think we've talked about so many Yu-Gi-Oh comparisons this episode.
Yeah, but it also has a main flash effect. Give a spirit 3k BP. So,
3k. That's good. They don't always say 3k. They're mostly 2k.
They'll say 2k. Yeah.
This card is the new Star Blood. This card is good in any color, but especially for blue that lets you pick up Nexuses from the discard pile, or purple where you want to recur or do that immortal. Chef's Kiss. Beautiful magic card.
And it's cheaper than Star Bless.
It is.
And you get 1 additional draw, so I like it. So
yeah.
And it looks cool. I've been trying. Is that a fist?
I think so.
It's like a boxing glove, wrapped.
Grabbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's wrapped in a.
Yeah.
But
right.
This art is actually reused from Japanese Battle Spirits, and I think because of the template of the card, they had to zoom way in on the art. And so that's why it's kind of awkward looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
there will probably be an
alt
alt art of this.
I'll say there'll be an SPR version of this card, and you'll have to cop 4 of them because it looks so. And it's a good card. I mean,
great card.
You can't dispute this card whatsoever. So
I mean, I think it would be in Bandai's best interest to make an SPR of this card.
Yeah.
I totally agree, Angel.
Instead of the 3 of cards I pulled, I could maybe get a Strong Jar SPR. Come on.
Yeah.
Strong Draw SPR might actually surpass Absolute Ice Shield SPR in price. It definitely will at first, but it might actually...
It could stay up there. Yeah, be looking out for this one, especially at Uncommon Rarity. Man, those are the hardest ones to get, I feel like.
Yeah, this is a damn good card.
So good. No notes.
I don't have anything else to say about it other than I'm putting this in pretty much every deck.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
3 cost even out of blue is so worth it. Because we're running Starblast draws. Yeah, exactly.
I'm running 4 Starblast and my 5th Starblast is a charge draw. I'd probably swap out the charge draw for one of these at least,
or 2.
I might even go 4 of these and 2 Starblasts. Or 3 of these Starblasts.
Yeah, free up your burst slot.
Yeah, it's so damn good.
It's really good. All right, we've only got a couple more left.
Back to starter deck.
Yes, so this is a starter deck magic card. This is Floodstream, 5 cost reduced by 2. Blue magic. Burst. When you lose life. I love burst cards like that. Select a spirit. During this turn, treat it as its highest level. You may then pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect. And its main flash effect is select any number of your opponent's spirits with a combined total of 5 or fewer cost and destroy them.
Jeez.
So you got some more aggro control.
Yep.
They knew what they were doing when they introduced green last set, and they're like, don't worry.
We got an answer for this. Like,
Wash those ants away. Spray 'em.
Yeah. Put some Dawn soap in that water.
Yeah.
Get 'em out of here.
Exactly. It's a pretty decent magic card.
On the flip side of that coin, though, in an aggro deck, you can wipe out all of their low-cost spirits and then maybe exhaust whatever's left and then get in for the win.
This card works both ways. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's cool. I love the art, too.
like
You got like a Sea Fae folk leading the charge. Very anime, water type of spell.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a good
like
card.
it.
It's our first blue burst that we've seen, too.
Yep. There it is.
I feel like the burst effect is a little...
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
definitely
sure
to end the aggro, for sure. Like, you're losing the life. You can buff up somebody really big who can block while exhausted, but you're also taking out 5 little guys at most, or, a 2 and a 3, 2 2s and a 1.
I almost wish
or
it's-
a bunch of zeros.
Yeah.
Bunch of
I
zeros.
almost
Oh,
wish-
that's kind of cool.
I almost wish that it said refresh one of your spirits or something.
Yeah. That would make it pretty good. A little better.
It's still good, though.
It's still good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a solid tech card, 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going on
Probably
to the second burst. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say probably sideboard too.
Yeah.
No, definitely sideboard.
Solid
You
sideboard
definitely-
card.
For sure. I mean, that's, like I said, against the aggro tech, for sure you want to have that on your sideboard. So it's like...
This next card is so stupid.
So the next card is another burst card from the starter deck called Blitz. 3 cost, 2 cost reduction. Burst effect, when opponent destroys your spirit, discard the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck. You may then pay this card's cost to activate its flash effect, which is select a spirit gains 2,000 BP during this turn. Jesus, there you go. I'm just leaving it at that. 5 cards. Bye-bye.
Unbelievable.
Like,
5
that
is
is
so
insane.
much. It's a 12th of the deck.
Dude, that is insane.
And that's after a draw from the beginning.
And,
my
and that's not
gosh.
including like how far you've already destroyed your opponent's deck with Crush.
Yeah.
The other turn. So
Like,
just like
this makes Mill so viable. You're running 4 copies of this. You're throwing it down every time you see it, and you're just getting a little aggressive.
yeah, this
and-
is like, all right, cool. You're gonna destroy my spirit. Or I'm gonna chump block on purpose. All right,
Yeah.
say bye to 5 cards.
Bye. Oh, my gosh.
My God. I mean, you think about it. You play 2 of these. You read the requirement of having 10 cards in your opponent's discard pile
Yep.
to activate your
Immediately.
other effects. So
Yep. Absolutely.
yeah, I like this card.
It's only
nuts.
good. I don't see a reason not to play at least 2
Nope.
in your blue decks if you want that mill. Or just
Honestly,
in general.
Any deck, yeah, so
Yeah.
any deck. Just any disruption to your opponent's deck throws off any game plan they might have,
Blue is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I would slot Blitz in my Fabled Beast 2 cost deck. Because those little guys die a lot. I want them to. Freestall wants them to die. I want to draw a card, and I want my opponent to discard 5. Blitz is good.
Yeah, I kind of like Blitz a lot more than like Celestium's still good, but just completely wiping out 5 cards right off the top.
Yeah. That's
Like,
that's
that
such
does so
value.
much.
That's so crazy. If you trigger all 4 of your blitzes over the course of the game, that's a third of your opponent's max amount of cards
Yep.
in their deck. That's absurd.
20 cards gone down.
That is
Bye-bye.
absurd. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
And then one more, Eric.
Oh, I'm finishing us off.
You're finishing us off. Oh my god.
Well,
Of course.
all right.
Are you guys laughing?
We have lost Cam.
This is stupid. This is so stupid. We didn't need another color with ramp.
Blessed Cores, 4 cost 2 reduction. Magic. Main effect, select 2 of your Nexuses, place a core from the void onto each of them. Main flash, select spirit, it gains 3,000 BP during this turn.
It's a
That
free card. It's free. You pay
Yeah.
2, you put 2 cores onto the board. It's free.
Yeah.
Because it's reduced by your 2 blue Nexuses. That's a free card.
Yep.
That's insane.
So
I'm telling you, blue does everything. Ramps. So blue ramps. It exhausts. It destroys. It mills. What else does it do? What else have we read? I mean, it does. It recovers Nexuses.
yeah, it recurs. It has recursion.
I mean, it has almost everything that you could
It
want in a card
defends.
game. It defends, so it has the white.
Yeah.
It has the abilities of everything.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane. It summons huge freaking golems.
I was not excited about blue when we sat down to this an hour and 45 minutes ago. And now I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, blue is. Yeah, I want to play with this. Even just a starter deck of blue.
Yeah. Like,
just
Eric and I, when the green deck came out, we both played the green starter deck against the green starter deck. I would love to do that with blue, and then I want to lean in full hard blue mill. I want to try my blue-white Mech Golem token deck. Like, blue's got so much fun stuff going on, man. I get it. I get it. Who needs depths to mill yourself when you can mill your opponent?
Yeah, like, hey, I'm just gonna mill you right now.
That's cool, man.
I am curious how things would have played out if blue. I think if depths wouldn't have gotten banned, like, I wonder how it would have played out with blue with Crush.
I wonder if depths needed to be banned because of how milly blue is. Maybe they knew this was going to happen. I don't know. That might be giving them too much credit.
What do you mean? Like, people would have like
people could
accidentally killed themselves?
Yeah, like if you if you pop down
yeah,
even one Netherworld depths, let's say 2. I'm swinging with a blue Crush Spirit that's knocking off 5, but you still draw 2. That's 7. And then Drag Golem lets me trigger that again. That's 5 more. That's 12. Like, that's a fifth of the deck. Maybe Netherworld Depths was never meant to see play against blue, because...
Man, if you think about the times that I've had, like, 27 freaking cards in my hand.
Yeah.
And then you're also crushing me. I mean, I will lose the game a lot quick. Yeah. Like, it won't take much long.
But on that point, that's a reason why depths shouldn't have been banned. Because if you're running multiple depths, I can mill you easy. I'm just swinging my cards sideways, discarding your cards, and having you draw them. You're done. So I hate to harp on it, but I really don't think depths should have been banned.
Yeah, as a blue player, if I see depths across from me, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Now I'm kind of mad that it doesn't exist, because they wasted a whole turn and 6 whole cores to put that down, and it just plays into my little Crush Golems. Come on. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man.
I like it. I like it.
That's exciting. I'm pumped. I love this game. Set 3, just with the new color. We haven't even touched the other 5. It's looking like a banger. The starter set, the starter deck looks really good. It's a great entry point for anybody who might be listening and is looking to get into the game with set 3. Get the blue starter deck. I think you're going to have a really good time with it. Yeah. And
I'm just glad that we have all the colors now. So now you really get into the deck building aspect of it.
Yes.
Like, you have a lot more options with everything. So
things are going to get crazy. Our first bans, our first limit, and finally all 6 colors are in the game. Yeah. Any final thoughts on blue, you guys?
I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
it's good. I don't know if I'll play like a mono blue. If I'm gonna do right now, honestly, I like the crush, like destroy my opponent's deck. I want to be that guy that's gonna destroy your deck and annoy you, because I'm like, here you go, burst, bye 5 cards. Here you go, attack, bye 3 more cards.
The blue mirror match, the blue mill mirror match is gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Magic. It's horrible.
It is. It's gonna be.
This.
Yeah.
I'm gonna counter this. I'm gonna mill this. I'm gonna counter this.
This shit's gonna get out of hand. I think Immortal is gonna come back, or like come really into the forefront, to punish your opponent for milling you so hard. You know, because Beldegor is gonna be popping up out of nowhere. There is a new guy in the 3rd set that is Immortal off of cost 7, I think, and so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's some good Immortal cards that you might want to go back into your collections and look at. With blue on the rise and on the horizon.
I should probably try and secure my Beldegor SPRs now, huh?
Yeah. Beldegor is going to see even more play.
I would.
I love it. Well,
so what's, just to end the show, what's everyone's like number 1 card out of all the cards we talked about?
Mine might be Bull Top Dog.
Full top dog.
Yeah, as a combo piece, it just like, I love 2 costs anyway because I think it's really fun because I feel like in this design and in a lot of other card games, you can give the weaker guys, like the squishier guys, crazy effects. And this is one of those. Like, he just has to be there. You don't have to swing him. He just has to be on the board when you're attacking with other Crush people, and you get to ramp. And I think that leads into a lot of good things for Blue because of their expensive core costs and stuff like that. So I think I got to give it to Battle Beast Bull Top Dog.
He's
For
just
me,
happy to be here.
Yeah, he is. For me, I think I'm gonna go with Draw Golem. Just
Yeah.
the ability to double that crush effect, and especially me that I'm really interested into playing a crush heavy deck. Like it's good. It just sits there like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna double this effect now. Especially when you tie it in with Nirvana or any of the other big crush effect guys.
Yep.
And he's cheap. I mean, you can play that guy for one core.
And he works with
That's
himself.
insane. Yeah, like I'm and the stats are not bad at all. I mean, you get him at level 2. Burning Force range is gone. So.
Yeah, which you want to. Like, he's balanced by the fact that, like, you need to buff him up, 1, to get that extra ability, but 2, to keep him on the board. But the reduction cost, like, this is just such a well-designed card. I agree. Dragolem is up there for me.
I would love to see an SPR of Dragolem.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. I think it would look cool.
I bet they do something really neat with it.
Looking at it more now, it reminds me of the freaking dragon from Shrek. That's a love with donkey.
I'm always a sucker for dragons too, man. In any card game. What about you, Eric?
What about you, Eric?
Strong draw.
Strong draw.
Gotta give it the strong draw.
Strong draw.
It's Volcanic Canyon-esque. It's Volcanic Canyon on a Magic card. So
It's beautiful.
I mean, you're discarding 2 instead of just 1, but you're seeing 3 cards.
Yeah. Again, in a game, in any card game, information is good. Keyforge and a lot of deck building games have taught me that cycling is not bad. Like, this is Igor. I talked about him earlier. This is Igor.
Yeah.
You look at the top 3 cards of your deck, you discard 2, you keep the one that you need in the moment. Like,
but you can also discard anything from your hand, so it doesn't have to be of that
set. You're right.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if I do Immortals, like this definitely goes in there.
Oh yeah. There's some cool blue purple, there's some cool blue white, and there's some cool blue green. Budding in my head right now, but also I think this might be the strongest contender for mono color.
Yeah, especially if you're going for Crush, I think you probably want to do mono and maybe some off-color Nexuses, or
stall. Ice Shield obviously still works.
Ice Shield definitely.
Some bouncing works too, just so you can keep your guys alive to Crush into the next turn.
I can see Rocket City slotting in pretty well.
Rocket City, looks pretty good. Again, that blue-white support with your wide Nexuses, Germ Dyna is never going anywhere. That card is always good.
Yeah.
He specifically looks at white Nexuses, though, right?
White Spirits are what he selects.
Spirits, White Spirits for any Nexus. So it doesn't matter what the Nexuses are. It's just only White Spirits is what he can target, though.
Yeah.
Himself, obviously.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
So...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Blue's looking good. Can't wait for the set to come out already. Got about another month for it, but we still have a lot more spoilers ahead of us, and every single day more and more come out. So, and I know there's a few that we didn't touch on, but hopefully next time we do the podcast next week, the site will be updated. If not, we'll just probably pull them from Twitter, Facebook, wherever, and talk about them.
So yeah, it's spoiler season. Strap in. We're excited. Thank you again for joining us here on Absolute BSS. Want to shout out all of our new Discord members and YouTube subscribers and commenters. Thank you all to everybody who's been reaching out to us, and we got Shorty from Australia recently, so that's really exciting. We got a couple of Australians in our Discord now. That rules. So if you want to join the Discord, the link, the invite code, all that stuff, anything you need is in the show notes. If you're listening to this podcast, or in the description if you're watching this podcast on YouTube. Go ahead and join. Say hi. We've been talking a lot in there, especially over the ban list and all these new spoiler cards. It's a lot of fun. We got people in there looking for games, looking for deck list critiques and advice, and it's just a really fun little community that we're making. So I want to thank you all, especially for joining the Discord there, and any listens and views here. We truly appreciate. We do this for ourselves, but it is nice that we can do it for other people who care too. So we'll be back with more spoilers for the upcoming set. The lore set comes out this weekend. Can't wait to pick up 2 copies of that on Friday.
Is that this weekend?
That's the
No,
29th, right?
It got pushed back. There was some delays with products, so it's going to be October 4th now. They sent out a post, Bandai did, so due to supply and demand issues, it got pushed back a week, so it'll be the following week.
Okay.
But it's coming out soon either way. I mean, it's only a couple more days. So.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Takawa. Now I got some room for her. Since I don't have no more depths, I have room for other cards, so
that's right.
Let's go.
And I want to thank Angel and Eric, as always, for joining me here on Absolute BSS. This is fun. I love doing this. Especially because I was so far removed from Battle Spirits for a week on the beach. But then I come back and I just get right back into it. I love this game. You're
back into the waters, man. You're back into the deep of the blues.
That's
right. Our Discord has also honestly become one of my favorite parts of doing the show.
Me too.
We have all these different channels for other games. So like anytime I go to a Lorcana event, I have something to come back to and be like, hey, check out my new cards I got, or I was playing against this deck. Isn't this cool? Or like, we've been talking with Sad Mango about One Piece.
Yeah. And I've got some fun Keyforge content coming up soon.
Ooh.
I'm just going to tease that a little bit. Drop that here.
You're teasing us with your keys.
Mm-hmm.
You're just jingling them in front of us.
I love it. All right. Well, yeah, join the Discord. We'll catch you on the next episode of Absolute BSS. Until then, bye.
Peace.